1. When teaching adult learners about visual effects, compositing, which principle of andragogy should guide instructional design? A. Emphasize passive memorization of software shortcuts. B. Connect compositing workflows to real-world film projects. C. Prioritize instructor-driven demonstrations exclusively. D. Limit learning to abstract theory. 2. Which evaluation method best measures a learner's ability to integrate 3D elements into live-action footage? A. Multiple choice exam on terminology. B. Portfolio project demonstrating composited sequences. C. Oral quiz on visual effects history. D. Matching software tools to definitions. 3. When developing a curriculum for a VFX lighting module, what should be prioritized first? A. Final exam creation. B. Alignment with industry job competencies. C. Instructor availability. D. Classroom seating arrangements. 4. In mentoring a VFX student who struggles with rotoscoping, which communication strategy is most effective? A. Provide practical demonstrations with annotated feedback. B. Assign unrelated readings on sound design. C. Delay addressing the issue until final grading. Repeat the same technical instructions louder. 5. Which regulatory framework is most relevant when using copyrighted footage in a VFX training course? A. OSHA guidelines. B. Fair use and intellectual property law. C. HIPAA regulations. D. Food safety standards. 6. What is the key purpose of formative assessment in a VFX training program? A. To rank learners nationally. B. To provide continuous feedback for skill improvement. C. To finalize grades for certification. D. To satisfy external accreditation only. 7. An instructor observes consistent errors in a learner's keying technique. Which adult learning strategy should be applied? A. Provide immediate corrective feedback with practice exercises. B. Deduct points without explanation. C. Ignore the error until the project deadline. Switch to unrelated tasks. 8. Which curriculum model best ensures alignment of VFX learning objectives, instruction, and assessments? ADDIE model. B. Maslow's hierarchy. C. Kolb's reflective cycle alone. D. Behaviorist reinforcement. 9. Group critique of visual effects sequences most directly supports which adult learning principle? A. Adults dislike peer collaboration. B. Adults value feedback and experiential dialogue. C. Adults learn best in isolation. D. Adults require instructor-only feedback. 10. Which assessment best measures authentic mastery of motion tracking in VFX? A. A hands-on project tracking 3D text into live footage. B. True-false test about tracking software. C. Written definition of tracking. D. Multiple-choice test on software menus. 11. What communication technique is most effective when explaining rendering pipelines to diverse adult learners? A. Using workflow diagrams and real project case studies. B. Providing only technical documentation. C. Avoiding visual aids to reduce distraction. D. Relying on rote memorization of steps. 12. In mentoring, which approach best builds confidence for VFX learners struggling with simulation tasks? A. Break complex tasks into smaller achievable goals. B. Criticize every error to enforce discipline. C. Avoid giving feedback until the end. D. Increase task difficulty without guidance. 13. Which evaluation method provides the most reliable evidence of a learner's ability to create digital matte paintings? A. Final project assessed with a detailed rubric. B. Short answer quiz on Photoshop tools. C. Oral questioning on theory. D. Attendance tracking. 14. Why are practical labs more effective than lectures for VFX software training? A. Adults retain more through hands-on, experiential learning. B. Adults learn best by listening passively. C. Adults avoid interactive experiences. D. Adults require minimal practice. 15. A mentor assigns a short film project involving particle effects. What outcome does this primarily support? A. Knowledge application in real-world contexts. B. Memorization of software interfaces. C. Avoidance of creative tasks. D. Regulatory compliance only. 16. When creating practice exams for VFX learners, which principle ensures fairness? A. Align questions with learning objectives and industry standards. B. Include trick questions for challenge. C. Focus on learner background knowledge only. D. Randomly select content without alignment. 17. Which mentoring strategy fosters reflective learning in VFX students? A. Asking learners to document challenges and solutions in journals. B. Giving only final solutions. C. Ignoring mistakes. D. Isolating learners from group critique. 18. What is the best way to measure communication effectiveness in VFX education? A. Assess whether learners can explain workflows to peers. B. Count instructor talk time. C. Track the number of slides presented. D. Evaluate classroom attendance. 19. Regulatory compliance in VFX training requires which practice when using client footage? A. Protecting confidentiality and data rights. B. Sharing footage without consent. C. Deleting records immediately without archiving. D. Releasing unlicensed material publicly. 20. Which instructional strategy best addresses diverse learning styles in a VFX course? A. Blending lectures, practical labs, and visual demonstrations. B. Delivering only instructor lectures. C. Standardizing one delivery style for efficiency. D. Assigning only independent readings. 21. Why is backward design particularly useful in developing VFX curriculum? A. It ensures instruction aligns with end performance outcomes. B. It avoids measurable objectives. C. It maximizes instructor preference. D. It eliminates assessments. 22. Which assessment most accurately measures application of VFX color grading knowledge? A. A project correcting color mismatches in a sequence. B. Multiple choice test on terminology. C. Matching software icons to names. D. True-false quiz. 23. Which adult learning principle is applied when learners design their own VFX troubleshooting exercises? A. Self-directed learning. B. Dependence on instructor authority. C. Passive observation. D. Rote repetition. 24. During group projects on CGI integration, what role should the instructor adopt? A. Facilitate collaboration and peer learning. B. Provide all answers directly. C. Limit student interaction. D. Replace discussion with textbook reading. 25. What is the primary benefit of mentoring in VFX career preparation? A. Strengthening learner motivation and professional confidence. B. Memorization of past exam questions. C. Avoiding formal teaching. D. Eliminating mistakes entirely. 26. Which assessment demonstrates Bloom's analysis level for VFX skills? A. Diagnosing issues in a flawed compositing workflow. B. Reciting definitions of terms. C. Matching icons to functions. D. Memorizing shortcut keys. 27. How can instructors maintain ethical compliance when mentoring VFX learners? A. Maintain confidentiality and respect intellectual property. B. Share proprietary assets freely. C. Guarantee job placement. D. Provide access to pirated software. 28. Which barrier is most likely to hinder communication in VFX instruction? A. Overuse of unexplained technical jargon. B. Use of analogies and visuals. C. Providing project-based examples. D. Allowing learner questions. 29. A mentor asks a learner to explain differences between 2D and 3D tracking. What type of evaluation is this? A. Oral formative assessment. B. Summative test. C. Peer grading. D. Self-assessment only. 30. Which adult learning principle supports the use of real film projects in VFX training? A. Relevance to learners' personal and professional goals. B. Abstract learning detached from application. C. Instructor preference only. D. Avoidance of industry practices. 31. How can instructors ensure reliability in evaluating VFX projects? A. Apply consistent rubrics and scoring criteria. B. Grade differently for each learner. C. Assess informally without records. D. Base grades on effort alone. 32. What is the most useful measure of curriculum effectiveness in VFX training? A. Learner satisfaction plus demonstrated competency outcomes. B. Instructor workload. C. Number of lectures delivered. Tuition fees. 33. Which mentoring technique best promotes higher-order problem-solving for VFX learners? A. Encouraging predictions of project outcomes with complex workflows. B. Providing only step-by-step solutions. C. Limiting learners to memorization tasks. D. Avoiding open-ended challenges. 34. In designing assessments for a VFX compositing course, which method ensures the highest validity? Testing memorization of shortcut keys. B. Assigning a project requiring integration of multiple visual layers. C. Asking learners to recite definitions of alpha channels. D. Matching terms to software icons. 35. During mentoring, a learner expresses difficulty understanding green screen spill suppression. Which mentoring approach is most effective? A. Demonstrate real-world examples and allow guided practice. B. Provide only theoretical reading material. C. Ignore the issue until final evaluation. D. Assign unrelated CGI tasks.